Hey everybody, your friendly math tutor here with our daily SAT challenge, Sunday, August 23rd, 2026. So we have a square pyramid. Let me try to draw this. All right. And what we're given is that it's square. So I'm going to call these bottom two X. And then if I drop this down, I'm going to call that H. And then on one of these sides, I'm going to do my best to draw this. That is what we call the slant height. All right, so there's a difference between the regular height and the slant height. So what I have given is that the volume is 1296. So 1296 is 1/3 length times width times height, which is 1/3 x squared h, simply because it's a square pyramid, so the bottom is going to be the same value, the base, same length and width. So then I'm going to just triple that, and I'm going to get 3888 is x squared h. Okay. Then we have a slant height of 15. So basically, I'm going to redraw this right triangle here. And what happens is this is this. So the slant height is really the hypotenuse of this triangle, and they're telling us that's 15. This value here is half of x, and this value here is the actual height. Now, it seems like they don't give us enough information, but what they do tell us is that all of these values are integers. So therefore, it should be a common Pythagorean triple that solves this. So we should know 3, 4, 5. And if you triple that, you get 9, 12, 15. So that tells me, because they have to be integers, that it has to be a 9, 12, 15 triangle. Because again, that's a right triangle. And then we just got to figure out which one is 9 and which one is 12. So if you just kind of guess and check both. If this were to be 12, all right, actually, no, I'm going to do the 9. If this were to be 9, then x would be 18, and h would be 9. And if you try that, then you check it here, and you do 18 squared times, I said that wrong. Let me just write that. What I'm checking right now is that the 9 is this, and the 12 is this. And if this is 9, then this full side is 18. And if I do 18 squared times 12, that does give me 3088. So that's how it has to be. So now I know that x is 18 and h is 12. And now we're going to find the surface area of the pyramid. So I'll just call that A is the bottom, the base is just x squared. So that's 18 squared. Plus, there are 4 triangles that make up the slanted triangles that make up the pyramid. So there's 4 of those. I know 4 times a half is 2, but I'm going to write this out so we see what's going on. Then the area of each triangle is 1/2 base. The base is 18. That's this. The height is not this height, it's the slant height, because the slant height is the height of each of those slanted triangles. So that is where I use 15. And if you just throw all of this into a calculator or Desmos, you will get 864, which is the final answer to this problem. All right, this is quite a doozy, but it's doable if you know your Pythagorean triples, because of the idea that they have to be integers. So I would know 3, 4, 5, 5, 12, 13, probably 8, 15, 17, and 7, 24, 25. If you know those and then the multiples of those, then problems like this you can do. Okay, hope that helped.